I want to get on the whole get up today.
Hey, you're looking good.
Good morning, Ozarks and around the world. This is Steve McAllister, and this is Silver Linings. We've got a great show for you. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a roasty, toasty day today. We're looking at 93. We're here at the Axe Media Broadcasting Studios in Springfield, Missouri, at 4166 West Kearney. So, may I start off by saying the legacy continues. Branson's famous Baldknobbers is Branson's first and longest running show. 63 years.
63 years.
63 long years. The show was founded by the Mabe brothers Jim, Bill, Lyle, and Bob in 1959. Each generation has added its unique flair to the Baldknobbers, and yes, they have. The show is stacked with all your favorite country hits and hilarious comedy, but it doesn't stop there. The show also features just enough classic rock, patriotic salutes, and soulful gospel music to pull on all your heartstrings. And I have one of the best male vocalists here from the Baldknobbers, Brandon Mave. How are you?
I'm doing well, Steve. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So things are really heating up there at the Baldknobbers, huh?
Oh, man. You know it, right? We love it. We're having a whole lot of fun. It's crazy that we're in our 63rd year now. It's amazing to me.
Right. And you guys first started out with the Baldknobbers Jamboree show on 76.
Oh, well, actually, they started way down by the lakefront.
Okay.
Of Taneycomo a long time ago, 1959.
Skating rink.
Yeah, well, that was one of the locations as well. They performed in the basement of City Hall, old pavilion, transformed skating rink into a theater. Then they built their theater in 1969 over on 76 is when you're referring to. We were there a long time. And now we're over on Highway 165, the old Acrobats theater, Shanghai Acrobats. But we've been there now. This is what year is this? I think it's our 6th season over there.
Okay.
So, yeah. We're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, there's a lot going on over there. I mean, you guys keep yourself busy, and of course, you got a great cast. Of course, Dan Keaton, he was here not too long ago, and he and his wife were here, and they really promoted the band. And I'll tell you what, folks, the band that they have is just so instrumental, and they know how to play all the instruments.
Talented.
And do it well.
Talented bunch of guys, 6-piece band, and we have the Moody, his father and son, Greg and Grant Moody. We have Josh Gabriel on the drums. It's Doug's oldest son, Doug Gabriel. John Lance on the keyboard. He also plays guitar, bass guitar, you name it. The guy's phenomenal as well. Nathan Agdepa is our band leader. Fiddle, acoustic guitar. He plays bass guitar. These guys play multiple instruments. The Moody guys, Greg and Grant, they can play every instrument on stage. Josh is a great bass guitar player, even though he's one of the best drummers.
Even though I know him as a drummer.
And that's crazy. And then we also have Bob Roth. Fantastic bass guitar player. He joined us last year after, unfortunately, Mr. Randy McConnell passed away from COVID.
Right.
It was a very, very sad deal, but we've been blessed with Bob joining us, and just a talented group of guys. Great people.
Yeah, they really, and the music is variety, and it definitely is variety, folks. I mean, and you touch on a lot of songs that really you don't realize sometimes, but you touch on music, and people are waiting to hear certain songs that they're either dancing to or they're crying to.
Yeah.
And that's what you do. The songs are basically put that way on purpose.
They are. And you know what? Country music tells stories the best, And then, of course, when you mix in the gospel music and our patriotic salutes and the things that we do, we have a little classic rock in there and stuff. That's probably not quite pulling on the heartstrings as much. But it's got some bump to it. But no, we have fun. I mean, we try to do a variety of different things to try to reach everybody that's out there in the audience, because Branson and the demographic that's coming to Branson is getting so broad now, so you try to touch everybody if you can.
Yeah, and because Branson is touching on the 70s and 80s now rather than the 50s and the 60s, it's kind of hard. Now, I'm going to touch on something here in a minute, but, people have been telling me, they say, why is it always this other newer music? I said, because it's a generation of new people coming in.
It is, yeah.
And Grandpa and Grandma are gone. Now it's the grandkids bringing their kids,
Yeah.
and you have to go with the generational type
Well, you
music.
got to try and do a little. Again, it goes back to the mix of all of it. I mean, we still do some traditional country music in our show, obviously, and the classic rock stuff we're doing, that's of the '70s and the '80s. I mean, it's not brand new stuff. Now
Right.
we hit on some of the brand new country hits out there. For instance, I sing "Till You Can't," #1 hit this year by Cody Johnson. Um, uh, Ashley, which I got to go through some of our vocalists here in a second, but she sings Shania Twain and Carrie
Oh,
Underwood.
man, did she rip
And
it
oh
up?
man, right? Shane Van Camp sings Alabama, and he sings Rodney Atkins. I mean, so we all do something different. Dan, of course, hammers in on the gospel songs
And the
that we have.
tenor.
Amazing range that guy has. And we do. I mean, we do a version of "Lean on Me," my wife and I, which of course you know all this already. I'm telling him everything he already knows.
I was making faces in the front row.
You know, but then we also do a duet of Jason Aldean and Carrie Underwood, their brand new hit that they had come out as #1 single. So it really is a variety of everything that we try to do. And of course, along with Hargis diving in with his classic Ozarks hillbilly comedy. I mean, we think we got a pretty good product. We really do. I'm not trying to toot my own horn.
No, but you are.
But we have fun. But I must say, Steve, you are looking fantastic in your Baldknobbers apparel today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really.
I wonder where he got these shirts at. Yeah.
I try to wear it as well as I can. And the ball
and the
cap
hat. Oh man, fantastic!
You ran out
Available
of
at the local Baldknobbers gift shop. But no, we have a whole lot of fun. We have a whole lot of fun.
And Christy, in the gift shop, she makes things.
Christy.
She makes things happen in the gift shop.
She's
with
good.
The lighted. What do you call those things? The lighted.
We had light up balloons, everything that lights up. You can imagine. We had shoelaces last year. But I got to mention Christy because that is obviously the not late Randy. That was his wife, Christy.
Right.
So she's the widow now, unfortunately. But her daughter Iriel also works with us. So we've really, good or bad, we've been known to kind of adopt families as our own. We have the whole Keaton family working for us. We got both of the Moody's working for us. We got the McConnell family.
You got my wife.
We got the Adams family. We got your wife. So we've adapted the McAllister family. No, I mean, it's awesome though, because, we are a very family environment. So having these families join us through employment and just become part of the Baldknobber family has always been something that we're really, really proud of. So it's cool. And it does kind of bring them into our world and our family a little bit.
Right. And you sometimes it feels like you're sitting in a living room. I mean, you bring that kind of music and you bring that kind of variety. It's almost like you're having a private concert.
Yeah.
And you're giving a private concert in a living room.
That's what we try to do. It's kind of like that up close and personal vibe, that they get from the entertainers that they may not get in other locations, or going and seeing a big star out on the road somewhere. I mean, you can get that, but you got to pay a good price to go do it, right?
Oh yeah.
We try to, be up close and personal. We open up our hearts and our emotions with the audience there that night, and try to find that personal connection that we can have with them.
Yeah, I think the other thing is this is what you really need to know is that the vintage show you brought. Now this is new this year. The vintage show.
We started it last year at the very end of the year, but this is another way that we tie into that legacy side. 63 years is a long time. You only last that long if you adapt accordingly to the demographics, to the new trends and things that are going on, but not giving up your actual identity and that foundation that we were founded upon.
Right.
So we stay true to all that kind of stuff, but we do update our show. I mean, we're a very concert kind of vibe feel show.
Right.
We got the lights in the production, but we also have those up close, personal, heartfelt moments like you're talking about. But with the vintage show, that is like literally, and the way I kind of promote it, and you've heard me say this before, but it's like the Baldknobbers of the 70s, 80s, and 90s kind of all squeezed together into one great show. We just went back and we picked some of the greatest hits that the Baldknobbers have done throughout the years, and we perform those for that audience. We're going to be doing stuff from Papa Top Again, or Jolene. Or I sing one that Dennis Mabe used to sing all the time, "Blue and the Gray," as Waylon Jennings.
Oh, you did a great job the other night.
You were there, I was there. In. That was one of those, on just on the fly, kind of adding a song in because we had to work around some stuff. But I even played the harmonica a little bit on that song.
Yeah,
it's just kind of cool, you go back and you you're paying tribute to these great Baldknobber legends. All my family and the friends and the people that I looked up to from a kid growing up. It's really cool to be able to do that. So
There
that's what
are
we're doing.
some people though that have come up to Rachel and asked them when's the next Bald Number show and that, and some of them are like, "You have a vintage show,"
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
some of them don't know, and so Rachel does try to, and she does a great job at
Mm-hmm.
explaining it to them, and she said, "You just have to come and experience it."
And I think the things we're doing in both shows, I mean, we're not turning away anybody in any age group or demographic or whatever it is. And we really do have something for everybody. But if you're a diehard 100% traditional country music fan and you want to hear that old time hand clapping Southern gospel stuff, and you don't want the variety that our regular show has, the vintage show is absolutely perfect for you. From Loretta Lynn to Conway Twitty to Kenny Rogers to Dolly Parton to all these old time legends, right?
Right,
And then the new show is going to have all of your variety from your legends to your modern stars and your classic rock and all these different things that are going to kind of mix together for that type of entertainment.
right, and that's what there's Branson's kind of getting out of the variety. I mean, going more into the variety
Yeah.
rather than the old country. It's because the generation's changing.
It is changing, but that doesn't mean that you can't still put on a quality show and give these people what they really want to enjoy. If they're a diehard country fan, trust me, we got something that you're really going to like in both shows, our regular show and our vintage show. But the vintage show, back to that one, is just so cool for me because I mentioned just a second ago, but I really did. I sat out there as a kid and I idolized all these amazing entertainers coming through the years on the Ballnumber stage, and now I get to sing the songs that I love to listen to them sing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just so cool for me. So that's Thursdays at 2, by the way. That's when
Okay.
we do the vintage shows, Thursdays at 2
So,
o'clock.
but you do a matinee at 2 o'clock on Wednesdays.
That's our regular show.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a regular show, and then the vintage show is at 2 o'clock
Yep. Yep.
on Thursdays,
That's right.
and
Yeah.
then
Other than that, we're at 8 o'clock at night. There's always a pre-show. Um, Dan Keaton does it on the matinees, actually. Come early, listen to Dan sing. He does a great job, variety of different kinds of music. And then at the night show is Murray Conk, and he's a Cajun comedian. Does a fantastic job, too. And he'll kind of get you rolling with laughter before the show starts.
yeah, that's I mean, like I said, folks, you really have to check it out, and I guess people do get turned around still about where you're
Yeah.
located at. So we always try to say if you go to the Titanic, you turn left. Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah, you turn
Well,
left.
you turn left if you're heading west. If you're going east, you turn right. But no, just the opposite side of the road of the Titanic down Highway 165. We're only about a block or two down the road, but
And that's the easiest way to say it.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's right at the intersection there of Green Mountain Drive
And if you went to the
and
Grand Shanghai
165.
Theater at one time, it's the same building.
That's right. If you just Google Baldknobbers, we're gonna pop up. You come right to it. But the actual address is 645 State Highway 165. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but there's just so much to pack in to a 2 hour show that you could probably go on.
Oh man.
You could,
Yep.
and
Yep.
there's only so many hours in a day.
Right. Well, we stuff a lot in those 2 hours.
Yeah, and
We
Shane
keep
Van
it
Camp
driving.
and man,
Shane and Ashley, and of course my wife Megan. Now, this is something that's kind of cool on our regular show that she does. It's kind of off the wall too, and she was the one that was out the other night when you were there. She's kind of lost her voice a little bit at the moment, and hopefully she's back today, ready to go. But she sings what's the name of that song? "Never Enough" from the movie The Greatest Showman. Oh, blows it away, doesn't it?
oh yeah,
And that's one of the most difficult songs to sing with
and
the
that's
range.
probably why she didn't do it, is because of the way she was
She
feeling.
still sang her duets with me, but certain songs, when were you there? 2 nights ago? Yeah,
But yeah,
Monday night, are just got such a big power range that, if you're feeling under the weather, trust me, we got enough talent on that stage. Thank God he has blessed us with the talent that we have.
you don't have to worry about missing
Well,
it. You
we
do
can-
if you've seen the show.
Exactly. But, we add something else to fill those voids, to fill those
Right.
gaps. If it's a live show, you got to roll with it. The show must go on, they say. But she's going to be back singing that hopefully today. And it's amazing, her rendition of that song, Never Enough. And
Oh
then
yeah,
in the second half, she does Adele, Fire to the Rain. And so that's just kind of a mix again of the different things that we do. A little bit of, new pop stuff, even with classic rock. And I mean, we're still, and you know this, we're 90% country music.
Yes, you are.
But man, we love having some fun with those other songs, and it really shows a variety of things that that we can do as far as our scopes of talent. You know, that our same country singers that are going to come out there and sing you a country song as you can possibly hear. But we can also sing a little Bon Jovi and a little Kansas,
That's what I
little
thought.
Elton John.
And the way that Nathan plays that violin at the end
Oh,
there, little
yeah.
what is it? Not,
We do.
oh,
Are you talking about
Led Zeppelin? You
yes,
know,
and we do
da-da-da,
that.
yeah.
And Devil Went Down to Georgia. So our
Oh,
version
yeah.
of that, we kind of break into a little signature lick from the Led Zeppelin song. But I mean, it's Devil Went Down to Georgia, but it's the way that you can put these things together. Yeah, so fun, you know. But you're mentioning Shane. I got to talk about him for a second, as I
Sure.
mentioned some of our other vocalists.
You need to.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Shane is out of Nashville, Tennessee, and he actually had a record deal back in the day. He's been on national television. He was had a part in General Hospital.
I know. I watched it.
Yeah,
I saw it when he was on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was just cool, you know, how the people kind of, I don't find us really. Luckily, Shane found us, you know, and fantastic talent. He performed growing up, a lot of theme parks like Dollywood and Six Flags and things of that nature. Just a great talent, great country singer, but he also, again, can sing other genres.
Right.
Ashley Dawn grew up a gospel singing family. The Praters. She's out of Buffalo, Missouri here. So she grew up here in the Ozarks, but her family group, the Praters, did a fantastic job and made quite a name for themselves in the gospel music industry. And then they parted when she was in her teenage years. You know, you got to start living life at some point, right?
Right.
Got married, had kids, all those kind of things. But she came back into the Branson scene. Well, basically when we found her, believe it or not, we found her online singing with Dino Strunk.
Wow.
Dino, they had a little duo going on. They were playing at some different areas around town, and I happened to come across it, and lo and behold, we were looking for another female vocalist. And I'm telling you, man, she's just fit in perfectly. Her personality, her talent, her vocal range, the tone of her voice blends perfectly with myself, my wife Megan, and Shane. I mean, we really come together well. And of course, with Dan into the picture there, I mean, with all five of us on stage, I think we can hit every note that you need to hit.
I don't think there's a note that you haven't hit.
You know what I mean? So we have a whole lot of fun doing that. You know, whether it's group numbers or individual songs, we all add our own flair to it. Dan Keaton, you mentioned Dan, Gospel Music Hall of Famer, Dixie Melody Boys, went into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame with the Gold City Quartet. I mean, one of the finest tenor gospel singers
And he
you're
can
going to
hit
hear.
the notes.
He can hit as high notes as my wife. It's insane. You know, but yet he has a subtle tone to his voice as well. But when he needs to, he could sing with the microphone 100 feet away, and you're going to hear him clear as a bell. You know,
Okay.
so it's fantastic. You know,
He doesn't need a
talent.
microphone sometimes.
No, when he's hitting, oh my goodness. But you know, it's just so much talent with it. And of course, I could brag on my wife until Jesus comes back.
Well,
so
let's
do that.
start.
Yeah, but you know, she's actually classically trained
Right.
vocalist. She's out of Pella, Iowa. And I got to mention Dan's out of Detroit, Michigan. But yeah, there you go. But you know, Megan's out of Pella, Iowa, and she grew up being classically trained, so she sang a lot of opera. Believe it or not.
I was just gonna say, I think,
You know?
didn't you say? I thought she told me opera.
And
I couldn't
she
remember.
can do it still to this day, of course. Now that didn't quite fit into what we're doing. We don't have much opera.
I could just hear
in
that.
the show.
I could really.
But you know,
that would change it.
Oh, well, she could do it, and she could do it great. But no, you know,
yeah, well, let's stick to country.
But she does an amazing job on all these different songs, and proud of her Pella, Iowa Dutch heritage up there. You know, I mean, she's so proud of her hometown and all the people from Iowa that she loves and adores. A lot of her family actually still lives up there, so we go back and forth quite often. But
good.
You know, she's won Female Vocalist of the Year, I think, twice now. We've won Vocal Duo of the Year like 4 times from some of the different award shows. Our whole band's been awarded, you know, Band of the Year and individual instrumental achievements as well.
Mm-hmm.
And every vocalist on stage has won something at some point or another. I mean, so blessed to have the talent that we really have. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah, and it's good that you have that kind of people. You need to realize too, what you see on stage is what you see in the parking lot, or what you
Yeah,
see off stage, you know, and
for
I know
better
that.
or worse.
Did you say for better or for worse?
And you never know, no, but no.
But I noticed that you guys now are coming out at the end of the show. Is that just the 2 o'clock or the 10 or both?
No, we try to every show that we have. We try to come out. I mean, we're up there entertaining because of the guests that we have.
Hmm.
Paying their hard-earned money to see our show, and we want to give them as much of us as we possibly can. It was hard during COVID.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
You
everybody
couldn't
was
really
kind
go
of
out
staying
there.
away from being out and about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but we're back at it now. I mean, we really are. We're going out there greeting everybody, and so if people want to stay and hang out after the show, we're going to be out there shaking their hands.
yeah, and see, that's what I mean, folks. About there's shows that when you go to see people on stage, you might not always see what they're like outside or off stage. But the Maves are they're genuine, great people, and Shane and Ashley Dawn, they're both like some kid,
They're just
like a brother
extended
and a
family.
sister.
So is Dan. I mean, that's the thing about we make a joke about it, but it really is the truth. And you guys are part of that family now. Steve's there when his wife's working, sitting on the benches,
Look
just
like
hanging out. But when you come into our business, we truly feel like you're also coming into our family. We're going to treat you like you're our family because you are. We love everybody that works for us. We're so proud of all of them, and they all play a vital role, from the front of house staff to all the entertainers on stage. A lot of people you don't get to see there behind the scenes too, but it starts right there at the box office, like with Rachel and all the other ones that we have up there. I mean, that's the first impression that our guests get as they walk through that door, and we want that Baldknobber family environment shown in
hmm
all of it, and they're all like an extended part of our Baldknobber Mabe family. So you're now Steve McAllister Mabe. You didn't know that, but
wow.
congratulations.
I finally made it to the big time.
But no, I mean, we have fun with it, and
Yeah.
and we're just blessed to have so many great employees and great friends that work for us.
Yeah, it's just so great that you and Megan are carrying on the tradition of great uncles. Is it great
It was my grandpa and
or
my great
grandpa?
uncles. Yeah, well, Bill, Jim, Lyle, and Bob that you mentioned earlier. Jim was my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and played the Droopy Drawers character, the original Droopy Drawers. And we've had family throughout, Dennis and Joy, my cousins on stage. Well, again, so much extended family, but Brent Mabe was our band leader for a lot of years, playing the bass guitar. Of course, my parents, Tim and Patty Mabe, part of the show for a long time. And everybody has added their own little flair, their personality, their talents to that legacy, and just over time it continues to evolve and change, and that's the way it's been since day one. Tammy and Tanya, or I'm gonna, if I try to list all the family members, I'm gonna forget half of them, but Tammy and Tanya, they still perform actually with my dad. They're over there at Grand Country, and they do Ozarks Country, Ozarks Gospel. Fantastic show. Encourage everybody to go check them out. It's awesome. So much talent on that stage as well. And you got well, Tommy Blue passed away, but that was Tammy and Tanya's dad. Preacher Tom is how he was known on stage. One of the best MCs Branson's ever had. And fantastic preacher. He's the one that led me to the Lord. And then his
That's
son
awesome.
Jamie, also a very vital uh, influence he had in my relationship with Christ. He sings with Tammy and Tanya, his sisters over there. I mean, all these different people from my family that have played a part in the legacy, whether they're with the show now or they're not. It's been a vital stepping stone to where we are today. So it's really cool. I'm so proud of all of it and all the great family members and entertainers that have been a part of this legacy.
Mm-hmm. Well, so before we run down, because we're running down of time, when's your show is again?
So we are Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday nights at 8 o'clock, and pre-shows at 7:15. That's our regular Baldknobber show. Wednesday at 2 o'clock is also our regular show. Pre-show will be at 1:15 with Dan Keaton. And then Thursday at 2 is our Baldknobbers Vintage show that I was talking about, that we kind of
Yeah.
go back. It's like a blast to the
You know, I
past.
got to go back and because I haven't seen the vintage show, and I remember being there at the jamboree and
Oh,
so
man.
I've got to
You'd
come.
love it. I mean, I love it. I'm partial, maybe, but
Yeah, well, I hope so.
but I absolutely love it. I love
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
so, and then Dan has a Sunday morning worship service.
Dan does. Yep. And that's free. It's like, we call it church on vacation. Little less preaching, a whole lot more singing. Dan's a good preacher, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah,
his singing voice is, man, draws you in.
It does. It's like he pulls on your heartstrings.
Oh, it's just the emotion in his voice. Come check out that. Doug, Gabriel, and Reza, they have shows at our theater as well. I mean, so they have shows. I don't want to go through all their schedules because I'd forget some of it, but call the box office. Ask for Rachel.
Yes, please.
And
she needs people to call her.
she'll give you all the rundown of the great shows there. And yeah, whole lot of fun. Terry Awards are there in September. That's great award ceremony and award show because there's a lot of entertainment along with that one too. It's in September, like I said. I can't remember the date, 26th maybe. But man, they pass out a lot of great awards and they really pay tribute and give a night, kind of like a night of luxury to all the great entertainers in Branson. So it's always a packed house. All the different shows come in. A lot of fun.
Yeah. And I've seen the parking lot. It's getting bigger.
Oh, man.
The cars are coming in.
I love it.
The coaches are going to come in right after Memorial Day weekend.
Man, I'm telling you, the crowds are coming back. Branson's booming. I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to a great year. I really am.
Yeah. Of course, Rachel's working, so I'll be there tonight.
Yep. Come say hi. Steve's gonna cause trouble. I can already tell.
Well, thanks a lot, folks, for joining us, and it's been a real fun time with you, Brandon. Thanks again for coming. You're always welcome to come back.
Hey, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
And God loves you. So do I. And take care. God bless. See you next week.